Hello everyone, my name is Reese. Welcome to my channel. The Bible. By the end of the year, I'm going to have read the entire Bible. I'm going to start in the beginning with Genesis, and I'll finish with Revelations. I'm making these videos as an expressional outlet for myself, and also to keep myself honest while taking on such a massive task. And hopefully it will also be entertaining to follow along with my suffering through tens of thousands of words of Scripture. Before we get started, you might be asking why anyone in their right mind would want to read the entire Bible. Most Christians don't even do that. It's also understandable if you're hesitant and worried that you've just stumbled across some random white guy on the internet evangelizing by extolling the virtues of the Bible. Don't worry, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm a vaguely spiritual college student who studies religion, and I'm fascinated by primary sources of religious works, aka sacred books, holy books, scripture, whatever you want to call it. I'm interested in how they came about, where, why, and also if there's anything moral or otherwise that we can glean from them today. I'd describe my stance towards these works as intensely reverent but unbiased. I don't prioritize any religions over any others, and I think there are a lot of ways to have an earnest connection with a deity. My stance towards many organized religions is a lot less favorable. I am American growing up in the 21st century, and so a lot of my thoughts about beliefs that have started from this source in particular are actually pretty negative. Hey, I'm editing right now, and I just want to clarify that I think organized religion can be a good thing, but that most of my experience with organized religion has been with white Protestant churches, which I'm usually not super down with. I think organized religion, especially in non-Western societies, can and has been used to effective ends and can do a lot to build community and deepen faith in a constructive way. Anyways, back to Real Reese. So, if I'm not even Christian and I'm dubious about most popular interpretations of this book, why put myself through the trouble of reading it? Starting with the Bible, and more specifically the Torah, is a precursor to eventually studying the Quran, of which I have a study copy as well, it's just not here, at which point I think I will have a solid intro to Abrahamic religion on the whole. This grasp on Abrahamic religion is the main goal. I want to be super well versed in the key sacred texts of the Abrahamic religions. I figure as far as self-study goes, starting at the beginning is best, and I'll pick up more resources to guide my understanding as I go. I already have some additional sources, including Who Wrote the Bible by Richard Elliott Friedman, An Introduction to the Old Testament by J. Alberto Sorgen, as well as my personal favorite, Emojis y el Evangelio de Juan by John Stahl, which I found at a thrift store several years ago. Jesús se fue. Oh, brother. Anyways, the reason I'm starting with the Abrahamic religions is because as a United Stateser, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are most immediately applicable to my life, and I feel the most urgent responsibility to study and understand them. This absolutely does not preclude me from performing the same experiment with other pieces. Assuming this experiment is successful, I'll of course do a project like this with the Quran, and I will attempt to do this with other religious works. I've got a copy of the Bhagavad Gita burning an absolute hole through my bookshelf, and I'd love to reread the Tibetan Book of the Dead because I read it last year and I hardly understood a word of it, but all things in due time. And speaking of time... Yeah, these title slides are becoming a bit of a stylistic burden. What I meant by that was timeline. Like I said earlier, the amount of time that I'm giving myself to read this book is 1 year. January 2023 is when I will hopefully be done with it. It might take a little longer than that or shorter, who knows. College is hard and I'm doing part-time work, so hopefully I can stick with it without drowning in real-world responsibilities. But I'm going to really push myself to try to get it done. Updates till that point will probably mostly be progress updates and relating things I find interesting or didn't know about. Furthermore, if you're into religious jokes that don't come from an awkward homophobic summer camp counselor, then hopefully I can fill that niche somewhat. I think eventually I'd like to make this an educational channel and be able to compile knowledge into helpful packages, a la Cogito or Philosophy Tube, but realistically, I'm a long ways out from that, so maybe check back in like 10 years. But yeah, that's it for now. See you next time after I've read 100 pages of family lineage. Ciao. I got more than 50 shades of gray, living in a house of blue. Now if only I knew how to read. Taking it day by day.